Hi friends, today I'm back with a new review of the movie Befikre. Movies is another passion of mine, so I thought let me break the track for a bit. And this is an honest review by your movie critic, friendly movie critic, Astro Rrachita. Befikre is much awaited because it's been made by Aditya Chopra after a very long time and people had been waiting with a lot of anticipation. The teasers had created quite a controversy because of the physical aspect. The music was already chartbuster. So what's the movie about? The movie is basically the growing up tale of the hero Dharam, which is played beautifully by Ranveer, and the heroine Shaira, played by Vani. And it's essentially the story of a couple as they spend a couple of years in Paris. Dharam is a newbie to Paris while Shaira has been born and brought up here. She considers herself to be very French culturally, so she's been in and out of numerous relationships. Her parents are running a successful restaurant and play a very side support kind of a role in this movie. So essentially the camera, the story, the narrative, everything focuses a lot on the male and the female lead. Essentially there is no story in the movie because it's a lot of interplay between the two of them. There are dialogues, there are some lovely tracks, peppy numbers, and also some kind of finding yourself kind of introspection as they both come to terms with the fact that a relationship which is based only on the physical aspect is rather hollow, and as time passes and as the movie progresses they both realize their love for each other. Now, what are the positives of the movie? Definitely the sense of humor. The dialogues are witty, they are contemporary and very frank. Ranveer plays a very carefree kind of a person. He's a stand-up comedian and his language is very free-flowing, and it reflects in his relationship with Shaira also. And the other positive is definitely the music track. The lilting score by Vishal Shekhar. It's fresh, it's very rhythmic, and both the lead actors have performed brilliantly on the dance numbers, and they all carry the story forward. So this is the music, and of course the lovely acting by Ranveer Singh is what lifts the film up. And though there are essentially no heart-rending dialogues, no remember me moments, something which had which had been characterized by the earlier movie of DDLJ and Mohabbatein. Here we don't have any kind of very memorable dialogues or memorable moments to take home. But on the whole, the chemistry between the lead actors is quite good. Negatives are definitely the fact that the screenplay is poor. There is very less emotional connect or emotional content in the movie. It's deliberately been kept very light and breezy, but somewhere you do feel that because of the extra airiness in the movie, the emotional stirrings, of the heart, which Aditya Chopra is known for in his earlier work, that does not take place. So it becomes slightly too much on the etheric level, too much flimsy, and very very free flowing movie. And another thing which I personally did not like was the way Vani looks in the movie, considering that she has a parallel role and she's there in almost every frame. It does start jarring after a while that she's not very pleasant to look at. She is very obviously undergone a plastic surgery, and she's got a kind of an androgynous look in the movie, which is very nice because the story is set in Paris, and there are frames and physical representations of this kind here. And in fact, one of the reasons I found that in spite of so many kisses, one did not feel that the movie is very sexually inclined or very, non-platonic, was the fact that the heroine or the lead is not exactly sexual enough to, sort of arouse those feelings of any kind of romantic feelings in you. So because of that, I think the movie does lose out in a bit, but of course her strengths are that she speaks French fluently. She looks like a typical Parisian model and she dances brilliantly, I have to give her that. And she has a certain screen presence, so obviously Aditya Chopra must have had his head on firmly when he cast her. She fits the movie, but she doesn't carry the love story forward, So I as a viewer sort of after a while felt an emotional disconnect, a romantic disconnect. But because I love Ranveer's talent so much, just had to keep it, keep my eyes glued on the screen for that. And like I said, the dialogues are fun. Situations turn a bit cliche towards the end because it's a bit far-fetched where they both rush into marriages with the wrong person. because they cannot admit their feelings for each other. And the end, like the end 10 minutes, they turn very cliched, as there is a mad rush to beat each other up in a church-like situation. So that's like, one of those very funny comedies that one gets to see in Hindi movies. So it takes away from the richness of the movie which you can otherwise see. On the whole, I would say it's a fun movie, it's a breezy movie, but go for it only if you're a Ranveer fan. Otherwise, it does get flat at times, and if you like your movies to be emotionally rich, like I do, then this would be a slight disappointment. For a rating, I'm going out of 2.5. Not bad for a weekend entertainer. Definitely not something to remember by. Definitely not for a recap. Definitely not for a second time watch. One time watch strictly. Thank you.